There's a fight going on inside of the Republican Party, and Marjorie Greene might have started it. I'm sure by now that you know that she tweeted this. Yes, they can control the weather. It's ridiculous for anyone to lie and say it can't be done. And she sent a bunch of other conspiratorial donkey brain stuff like that. She doesn't know what she's talking about, and that's fine for her. She can go through her life being utterly ignorant and happy about it. But the issue is that a lot of other people unfortunately trust her, and they don't realize what a big old dumb donkey she is. And so they take to heart the insane things she says. They believe it. They don't evacuate necessarily, or they don't cooperate with FEMA. They don't accept the aid. They call for civil war on TikTok. And that doesn't help anyone except maybe Marjorie Greene. She seems to be doing fine. And the thing about it is, obviously I disagree with her. I've been pretty clear about that over the last minute or two. But I'm not the only one, because more and more Republicans are actually coming out, most identifying themselves, some anonymously, to criticize her for spreading these insane conspiracies that could theoretically be harming their district's efforts to recover from Helene and Milton. So the first is Carlos Jimenez, who represents a hurricane-prone district in South Florida, replied to one of Greene's posts writing, "Newsflash, humans cannot create or control hurricanes. Anyone who thinks they can needs to have their head examined." And he's a Republican, and he said that to her. Representative Chuck Edwards, who we talked about earlier in the week, his district was actually in the path of Helene. He sent out a press release entitled "Debunking Helene Response Myths" and said nobody can control the weather. Now, he didn't mention her in particular, but I think we know who he was talking about. Representative Mike Lawler of New York told Axios in a statement that Greene's rhetoric, quote, "doesn't dignify a response other than to say, of course, no one can control the weather." And one anonymous House Republican said she thinks we have no impact on the climate, but somehow control the weather. The lawmaker told Axios that Greene's beliefs on the subject are, quote, "Looney Tunes," and said disgust with her recent comments is widespread among House Republicans. And I find that easy to believe. I wish more of them would go like on the record. And bear in mind, a lot of these Republicans are better than Greene in that they are not spreading these particular conspiracy theories. But how many of them are leaders on the topic of taking climate change seriously? I ask you that. Denying the existence of climate change is not necessarily a conspiracy theory in your face like a meteorologist lasered a hurricane into existence, but it has some crossover with that. And arguably, their lies are more damaging. Now, really fast, before we discuss, I do want to let you know sort of why this matters. And we've talked about misinformation all week, but I just want to remind you all that meteorologists are literally facing death threats right now. Because not only do a lot of people now believe that humans can make hurricanes, they have been led to believe that the weatherman makes the hurricanes, I guess. And one meteorologist who we talked about yesterday, Katie Nicolau, she responded to a guy, Dan Law, who said, "Stop the breathing of those that made them and their affiliates," basically saying, kill the people who made the hurricanes. To which she said, "No, you are not going to advocate for murder on my page. Humans can't make hurricanes." And I'm glad that she said that. I probably would have preferred that she delete the comment rather than just respond to it, but that's what she did. And she tweeted, "Murdering meteorologists won't stop hurricanes. I can't believe I just had to type that." And it is madness. Brett, that's fun. Brett, what do you make of this? The fight, the misinformation.
It's got this energy. It's got old man yells at cloud energy. Like, what are we doing? Like, did someone go to New Orleans for like, Mardi Gras and see that everyone was saying, "Hey, bartender, can you make me a hurricane?" And suddenly, like, that was, oh, I guess it must be true.
He made a dark and stormy.
Yeah, it's just so stupid, right? Exactly. Like, that guy must be know how to make me old fashioned.
People believe it.
Like, the question is, it's just a like there. I guess the thing to do. It used to be like when you worked in political media or politics, you tried to find a message that always redirected the conversation to what you wanted to talk about, right? That's no longer the case. Now, much like how the Young Turks shoots a live show that also the way it's shot works as a VOD and a short and a podcast. You have to find the right tweet that is just, because everything's written on Twitter, and just like your text messages, you couldn't really, tell if someone was joking. You need to write a tweet that can be interpreted by like conspiracy theorists as obviously this is how it works, and people who like trolls as who can interpret that as like you're just trolling big media, and then everybody's happy on your side. Like that is exactly distilling that tweet. They can control the weather, and then also gives like also, we all knew the same jokes, right? Like everybody knew like Michael, what is it? Pepsi Cola burned him up. Now he drinks his 7-Up. That thing about Michael Jackson, right? How did we all know that? How do we all say the same thing right now? We don't know who came up with this observation, but we know like these people who don't believe in climate change now think that everyone can control the weather. And we all think we came up with that idea. It's that mastering that is mastering politics, I think, in today's day and age. And the reason that this is the level of my analysis, and this is what I'm focusing on, is because it's so obviously asinine that people can control the weather, and that anybody would create a hurricane to devastate like Tampa, Florida, which is a big city, which has a lot, an entire region in America. How does that benefit you in any way?
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, first of all, they can't. Second of all, would you at least like to make the case as to why they would? It doesn't make, none of it makes any sense, and it's all very frustrating. Okay, by the way, you reminded me when you were talking about all the different formatting stuff. Apparently coming soon, maybe today, YouTube Shorts can be 3 minutes long. That's a game changer, everybody. Get ready for less short shorts. Okay, with that's a weird sentence. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.